Hello everybody, it's AndreJMcClendon coming at you guys with some important information, some important articles I wanted to go over to help you guys and guide you guys through this crazy times and this market. Let's hit it. So we are looking at what is happening with the COVID crisis, coronavirus crisis. So this is basically about the war on cash. A lot of companies, also banks, are looking at more into digitalizing the fiat currency. This can be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you see it. For me, if the government knows more how you spend and controls, this is a bad thing. But when it comes to going to more digital, more centralized thing, we are looking at more competition. This can be a good thing. So there's pros and cons to it. Just understand that governments might use this in a negative way. But this will give you guys in the right trend, what banks are trying to do. But I want to head into my next article that's extremely important. This one talks about Bitcoin hitting $288,000. Crazy. So I am a crypto fan. I do use it a lot, but it's not the biggest part of my portfolio. I do prefer way more precious metals. You guys already know because I'm making a whole bunch of videos about it already. But it's a good article if you are a crypto fan or you're interested in reading more about crypto. This article is for you. I will have these linked below. And one of the most important articles I need you guys to just listen because this is very important. This talks about the central banks are driving into more gold. They are going into more gold, guys. The biggest competition in the markets, your competition in the markets, they're looking at gold. So let's dive into some details. So let's hit it, okay? So this talks about more about how gold is being bought more by the central banks and why the central banks, their competition is gold and why they don't like gold, but they rather have it so they can control the fiat markets and control the gold markets. So there's a whole bunch of metaphors, some phrases out there to talk about whoever controls the gold controls the money. So please check this out, and it'll really give you some insight about what they're doing, about how much they're purchasing when it comes to precious metals, especially gold. And our last one, for those guys who was in that stock market boom, this one talks about JP Morgan spots a big problem for stocks. So guys, there's one chart that you really got to see. This one's going to be really explosive for you guys. So over the last 3 months, $3 trillion liquidity has been pumped into the markets. JP Morgan talks about how dangerous this is. This puts us in a very, risky situation, especially for our government and for policy wise. But some important things they talk about is this. This one thing they showed. Look at the Fed balance sheet compared to the S&P 500 since March. Look at that. Huge pull up. So the Fed obviously has some manipulation into the markets. That is obvious. I make videos about that all the time, guys. Look at the Fed balance sheet versus gold. Look at the Fed balance sheet versus the Dow. Look at the Fed balance sheet. Look at the NASDAQ. So having this injection of liquidity is not a good thing. For the most part, it's going to make this bubble burst a whole lot worse. But check out this article. It's going to be really good, help you guys out from information and give you a different point of view. All right, so let's hook it up to the last thing. This is my website, guys. You guys want to learn how to trade, invest, please contact me. I do Forex, stocks, and cryptocurrency live sessions. If you want to learn, just DM me on Facebook or Instagram. And for this video, guys, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you for hanging out with me. Deuces.